Hi there, it's Stephanie from Mommy Standard Time, where we save minutes and savor moments. And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite ways to savor summer. Today is the last day of school for my kids. I don't know about you guys, but one thing that we always like to do is come up with a list of summer activities that we would like to try and do. And a lot of people call this a bucket list. You might call it something else. To be perfectly honest, I do not like bucket lists. Now, before we get to those reasons, let's talk about what's awesome about bucket lists or fun lists or whatever you want to call them. There are perks to them. First of all, they are motivation. They give you ideas for when you're feeling bored or feeling in a rut in those long summer days. You can go check the list. Hey, let's come up with something from the list. Number two, if you have your kids come up with their own list of activities that they want to do, a huge perk is that it kind of gives you a peek into your children's hearts. Like, what's important to them? What are they really hoping to do this summer? And I absolutely love that. And so number three, it kind of helps you save money in a way, because I know sometimes I have wasted money on activities that I thought my kids wanted to do, and they really didn't. And so it's helpful to go ahead and ask them, hey, what are you hoping that we do this summer? And yes, I'll add in some of our activities and trips and things that we want to do and provide to our kids that they've never experienced before, so they wouldn't know to ask or put it on the list. But so there's a balance, but really overall, I know I have wasted money on some activities that I thought my kids would like, but I never asked them if they wanted to. And so there's that. Now let's get into the reasons I don't love bucket lists. So first of all, the pre-made bucket lists that you can print off the internet, I don't like them. And the reason I don't like them is because they don't know me. They don't know my family. They don't know the resources that we have available to us. They don't know our budget. They don't know our time availability, our ability to travel as a family. Yes, these creative people who are wonderful, that they put all of these resources out into the world to share. I love that they do that. But for me personally, I don't like pre-made activities. Now, the reason why, again, yes, it's helpful to have all of these ideas to go off of, but that's the second thing I don't like about bucket lists, is the incomplete list letdown. What I mean by that is come August, when it's time to go back to school, we look at that long list of 100 activities that people put on a bucket list, and my kids are like,
we didn't do anything this summer.
Or me, who I love to check things off. You guys know that if you've been around here very long. I have my daily planner with my to-do list that I love. I love checking off boxes. And so to have a list, yes, it's super nice to have all of those ideas. And as much as I tell myself, we'll get to what we can and the rest is fine. This is just for ideas. There's that little piece in my head that's like, there's an empty checkbox and we did not check it. So there's that kind of incomplete bucket list letdown. And finally, the other thing I don't like about bucket lists, if you make your own, is you sit down with your kids and you say, hey, what do you want to do this summer? And one of two things usually happens. So first, the kids go, and it's hard for them to come up with something. Or the opposite happens and they're like,
we want to do this and this and this.
And then your list is this long, setting you up for that incomplete list letdown. So there's a better way. And that is bucket list bingo. Now, I did this when I was going through breast cancer. I think it was the summer I went through breast cancer treatment. It might have been the following summer that I started it, when I still wasn't feeling 100%. But either way, bucket list bingo was a game changer because it solves all of those problems that I had with regular bucket lists. So first off, you come up with the activities yourself. You peek into the hearts of your own family. You don't have to, narrow down a huge list of ideas from other people. It's based on your family and what you can do with your budget and your time and your resources. So that's number one. That's why I love these. Number two, it solves the incomplete list letdown because you're gonna celebrate every bingo. So you get 5 in a row, awesome. Let's go get some popsicles to celebrate. We have a bingo. And so at the end of the summer, no, you might not have a blackout, but hey, we celebrated 3 bingos this summer. That's awesome. And finally, it really helps when it's time to come up with ideas. Because if you notice, we have different categories. So something outdoors, something familiar, something cold, something colorful, something creative. So you have kind of like a category that can help spark ideas without telling you what to do. Your family can come up with those activities. And I love that. But the other thing is that there are actually multiple ways that you can use this bucket list sheet. So first, you can sit down and go over each category and fill in the bingo sheet and then have it available all summer. You can look at it for inspiration. My kids love to strategize. So if we have 4 in a row and we wake up and we have time to pick something from our bingo sheet, they will go over to the sheet and be like,
Hey, we almost have a bingo. Let's do this.
It kind of just helps narrow things down. We can make quick decisions about how we want to spend our day. I love it. So that's the first way that you can use this sheet. The second way is you can use it more like, almost like a journal. So leave it blank, hang it up somewhere, and then at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you can pull out the bingo sheet and be like, hey, can we fill anything out from here? Something that we did this today or something we did this week. And you can just kind of choose where to put your activities to record what your family has done and just see if you create bingos based on that. So that's another way you can do it. And finally, another way that you can use the bingo sheet is to cut it up. You can cut out these little boxes, put them in a cup or a Ziploc bag, and whenever boredom strikes or you're looking for something to do as a family, you can have someone choose a card and then you can decide right then and there what you'd like to do. That way it puts you a little bit more on the spot for deciding on an activity, but it can be fun to do that as well. And then you can either have a second copy to color it in or just use the cards as is and be done. So there's just a lot of ways that you can use this. Now, where can you find this? So on my website, mommystandardtime.com, I have a whole blog post that outlines kind of what I just told you guys about why I don't like bucket lists and what we do instead. And there are links. The first link takes you directly to this. It's a direct download. You don't have to give me your email address or anything. But then I've also created a seasonal bucket list bingo package. And they're a little more decorated to look like the seasons. And I've kind of tweaked some of these categories based on the season. So like for the fall fun bucket list, there might be something spooky, for Halloween time. That just to give you an idea. So if you decide to do this with your family, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And I am going to be sharing our family's bucket list bingo in my vlogs over the summer. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you would like to follow along with how our family completes our bingo card. But right now, my kids are gonna be home in about half an hour and we are gonna fill this out and be ready for summer. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.